You're listening to Don't Miss This on Paris Underground Radio. For more great content, including bonus videos of events in and around Paris, please join us on Patreon. Hello, and welcome back to Don't Miss This, your weekly roundup of the best of what's happening in Paris this week. I'm your host, Jennifer Garrity, the creator and founder of the Paris Underground Radio Podcast Network, featuring podcasts on a wide range of topics that come out 6 days a week and are made for people just like you. We've officially made it to October. We'll begin this week with something to please the vampires among us and end with theatrical chemistry. In between, you'll find festivals on wine, art and science, film, and movement. As if those weren't enough reasons to celebrate, you'll also explore the elegance of the gaze, feast your eyes on fancy footwear, discover a side of New Orleans you may not know, and so much more. This week's edition of Don't Miss This covers the week of Sunday, October 2nd through Saturday, October 8th, 2022. Let's start the week with a way for you to give back. Ask not what your country can do for you and all that. On October 4th and 21st, 2 blood drives are being organized at the Saint-Denis Basilica and the Hôtel de la Marine, respectively, as part of Don de Sang de Patrimoine, or Blood Donation and Heritage. The Centre des Monuments Nationaux and the EFS are joining forces to encourage people to give blood in stunning and historical environments. Blood reserves in France are low, and calls for donations are increasing. According to the EFS, caregivers need 10,000 donations a day to help meet the need. In a press release, they say they, quote, are particularly happy to be able to offer donors a unique donation experience thanks to the CMN, which has generously associated itself with our cause. With common values around sharing and the creation of social ties, it is ultimately quite natural that the world of culture and that of health meet and join forces today for blood donation. End quote. There is a short questionnaire on the EFS that you can take to ensure you're eligible to donate, and you can make an appointment ahead of time for a speedier donation experience. The blood drive will be held at the Saint-Denis Basilica on Tuesday, October 4th, and at the Hôtel de la Marine on Friday, October 21st. More information can be found at mon-appointement-dondesang.efs.santé.fr. That's MON-appointment-dondesang.efs.sante.fr. If you've ever dreamed of traveling to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, now's your chance to get a closer look from right here in Paris, minus the beads, of course. Beginning on Tuesday, October 4th, the Musée de Quai Branly's next exhibit, Black Indians de la Nouvelle-Orléans, will explore the incredible costumes, songs, dances, music, parades, and symbolism of the Mardi Gras celebration, and allow you to discover the history and culture of the Native American communities. According to the museum, for 150 years, the Mardi Gras festivities have celebrated the memory of the oppressed peoples of the United States by paying homage to former slaves, to those who were driven from their land, and to those who saw their people and their culture disappear. These parades also make it possible to celebrate the resistance of the Black community, which was once excluded from Mardi Gras celebrations due to racial segregation. And this holiday is also a tribute to the Native American communities who collected runaway slaves in the bayous. The exhibit will showcase interviews, testimonials, contemporary costumes, and traditional pieces from the different peoples and tribes of Louisiana and the banks of the Mississippi. Black Indians de la Nouvelle-Orléans will be at the Musée de Quai Branly from Tuesday, October 4th through January 15th, 2023. For more information, please visit quaibranly.fr. That's QUAIBRANLY.fr. If New Orleans is a bit too far to travel for a parade, consider heading instead to Montmartre for the 89th edition of the famous Fête des Vendages de Montmartre, or the Montmartre Harvest Festival. For 5 days, you can celebrate the wine of Clos Montmartre with exhibits, live shows, music, parades, parties, tastings of artisanal and local products, and more. So what will this year's festivities bring? On opening night, the duo Le Vent Bescard and Aurore Coroninas, one hearing and one deaf, will share their vision of equality with silent poems and an interpretation of Schiller's European anthem. The Skate Buddies will also lead a roller dance show, set to music provided by Rizzo. Over the next few days, a live music festival will take place at the Hasard Ludique, Madame Arthur, and Yves Robert Youth Hostel. You can take a tour of the Clos Montmartre vineyards, run in a neon night race, watch a team of male cheerleaders perform in an outdoor rock and roll show in a Freddie Mercury tribute, and so much more. There's the parade from the Clos Montmartre to the town hall, and the non-proposal ceremony where 20 couples will stand before the mayor and say, "No, I don't." And of course, there are the tastings. The Parcours du Goût brings together around 100 producers from French regions and beyond. The Fête des Vendages Montmartre will run from October 5th through the 9th and is free to attend. More information can be found at fêtedesvendagesdemontmartre.com. That's FETDEVENDAGESDEMONTMARTRE.com. If all this chilly weather has you wanting to cozy up with a good film, this week will bring you 2 film festivals to help satisfy that craving. First, the Festival d'Avant-Première, or the Advanced Screening Festival, at the CGR Cinemas. From Wednesday, October 5th through Tuesday, October 11th, a selection of upcoming films will be screened for only €5 a pop at each of the 7 CGR cinemas in Paris and Île-de-France. Films on offer include Bros, Couleur de l'incendie, Samurai Academy, Jacques Mimon et les secrets de la Valverde, Tempête, Simon le voyage du siècle, De Nouveaux Jouets, and Maestros. Please note that to benefit from the €5 rate, you must be a member of the CGR Club or get a special coupon from the magazine Télécable Sat Hebdo, a partner of the festival. The Festival d'Avant-Première will take place from October 5th through the 11th, and tickets are €5. More information, including programming, can be found at cgrcinemas.fr. If €5 is a little too rich for your blood, how about a second film festival for free in Courbevoie? Festival Atmospheres combines art and science with film, with a focus on societal issues and sustainable development. This year's theme is Stories of the Future, and 25 films will be screened, including La Montagne, which won the SACD prize at Cannes this year, and will screen with the director on hand, and Triangle of Sadness, which won this year's Palme d'Or at Cannes. This science film festival will include 3 new story competitions for series, feature films, and short films. There will also be 4 special events and 6 conferences and roundtables with topics like food waste and food of the future, Imagine 2050, and Reconnect with the Living. In the Atmospheres Village, you'll find events, workshops, and around 40 stands featuring change agents, as well as a stage dedicated to musicians from the RATP Metro. Festival Atmosphere will run from Wednesday, October 5th through Sunday, October 9th, and is free to attend. More information, including programming, can be found at atmospheresfestival.com. That's atmospheresfestival.com. There's a really exciting new exhibit opening at the Fondation Louis Vuitton on Wednesday, October 5th, Monet Mitchell, which will create a sort of dialogue between Claude Monet and Joan Mitchell. Now, Monet died in 1926, and Mitchell wasn't born until 1925, so these 2 painters never had the chance to meet in person, yet their work has left a lasting imprint on the art world. This exhibition begins with the most significant retrospective of American painter Joan Mitchell to be shown in Europe in 30 years, and includes 80 of her pieces. While she took part in America's abstract expressionist movement, she is most known for the vibrancy of her palette and her attraction to landscapes. In fact, Mitchell spent a part of her life in Paris before settling in Vauteuil, close to where Monet lived between 1878 and 1881. And this is where the dialogue begins. Quote, The Monet-Mitchell exhibitions present each artist's unique response to a shared landscape, which they illustrate in a particularly immersive and sensual manner. In his last paintings, The Water Lilies, Monet aimed to recreate in his studio the motifs he observed at length on the surface of his water lily pond in Giverny. Joan Mitchell, on the other hand, would explore a memory or a sense of the emotions she felt, while in a particular place that was dear to her, perceptions that remained vivid beyond space and time. Faced with the same landscape, namely the banks of the Seine, Monet and Mitchell developed a pictorial approach that they defined in similar terms, with Monet referring to sensation and Mitchell to feelings, end quote. Monet-Mitchell will be at the Fondation Louis Vuitton from October 5th through February 27th, 2023, and more information can be found at fondationlouisvuitton.fr. That's FONDATIONLOUISVUITTON.fr. On that very same day, Wednesday, October 5th, a new exhibit will open at Galerie Sacre Coeur. Now, some of you may remember last year's Sneakers Generation exhibit, where 400 international artists each unveiled their embellishments of the Jordan 1 triple white sneakers. Due to the success of that exhibit, the Galerie Sacre Coeur is following up with this year's Sneakers Generation 2 in partnership with Massey Shoes Custom. This year, 82 international artists, including some of the best professionals in custom sneakers, will showcase their creations, beginning, of course, with the famous Air Jordan 1 mid-triple white. Sneakers Generation 2 will be at the Galerie Sacre Coeur from October 5th through the 30th, and more information can be found at galerie-sacura.com. That's GALERIE-SAKURA.com. Now that you've got the right kicks, let's head over to the Centre Pompidou for Move, a free festival dedicated to dance, performance, and the moving image. This year's theme is Culture Club, Collective Bodies. Throughout the festival, you'll find both permanent installations and temporary performances, from people like Danish artist Esteban Well-Cager presenting Burn. Artists Julia Gribos and Barbara Zandkova will focus on collective fatigue. And artist Mona Varichon, whose web series about the residents of the Cité des Arts will expose the everyday life of an artistic community. Move will be at the Centre Pompidou from Friday, October 6th through October 23rd, and is free to attend. More information, including the full lineup, can be found at centrepompidou.fr. That's CENTREPOMPIDOU.fr. Does French culture sometimes leave you scratching your head? Well, you might enjoy listening to our sister podcast, Navigating the French, hosted by journalist Emily Monaco. Each episode focuses on a different word in the French language, and Emily is joined by an expert who will help explore what that word says about French culture. Listen now to Navigating the French on ParisUndergroundRadio.com or wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't miss this. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. And now, back to Don't Miss This. Have you heard of Laure Albin-Guillot? She was a French photographer born in 1879 who invented micrography in the 1920s, referring to her photographs made with a microscope. She became famous for her portraits and her nudes, working successfully in the worlds of advertising and fashion, but also making a name as a street photographer. Among her many accolades, Laure initiated a national film archive, the Cinémathèque Nationale, at the Palais de Chaillot, and by the time she died in 1962, she had taken more than 50,000 photographs. If this has piqued your interest, head over to the Roger Viollet Gallery for its exhibit L'Elegance du Regard, or The Elegance of the Gaze, which will bring together some 60 black and white photographs spanning Laure's entire career. You'll see the intimate and artistic portraits of the great personalities she is known for, as well as her advertising work for luxury, fashion, cosmetics, and tobacco magazines. L'Elegance du Regard will be at the Roger Viollet Gallery from Friday, October 6th through January 14th, 2023, and is free to attend. For more information, please visit roger-violet.fr. That's ROGER-VIOLLET.fr. If you can wait just 2 more days to see the Monet Mitchell exhibit at the Fondation Louis Vuitton, you can squeeze in another new exhibit, opening on Saturday, October 7th. Open Space Number 10, Lydia Oramain. In her first exhibit in a French museum, you'll be able to watch her 2022 film, Tassili, filmed at the border between Algeria and Libya in the Central Sahara. Quote, "Through this arid, almost lunar mineral environment steeped in history and spirituality, the artist immerses us in a captivating journey of sights and sounds, fantastical to the point of strangeness, that reaches back into the origins of humanity. The film Tassili offers a hallucinatory experience, an original quest with mystical overtones that propels us into a visual and sonic journey beyond time. For the first European presentation of her new film, Lydia Oramain has designed a specific device for the Gallery 8, where the viewer is immersed in a highly immersive sensory experience." End quote. Open Space Number 10, Lydia Oramain, will be at the Fondation Louis Vuitton from Saturday, October 7th through January 23rd, 2023, and is included with the Monet Mitchell ticket. More information can be found at fondationlouisvuitton.fr. Again, that's fondationlouisvuitton.fr. If this week's earlier Atmospheres Festival whet your appetite for more science and art in tandem, you may be interested in the very first edition of the Festival des Savants sur les Planches at La Reine Blanche Theatre. This will be an artistic and scientific event highlighting arts like theater, dance, literature, painting, and poetry, in combination with sciences like chemistry, math, biology, and astrophysics. You can watch 4 shows and partake in 1 discussion, including one on the biology of evolution and dance, one on mathematics and the novel La Fille Parfaite, one on the chemistry of metals in painting and theater, one on Shakespeare, and the last combining astrophysics and poetry. The Festival des Savants sur les Planches will be at La Reine Blanche Theatre from Saturday, October 7th through Tuesday, October 11th, and tickets range from €7 to €25. More information, including programming, can be found at reineblanche.com. That's REINEBLANCHE.com. Well, that's it for this week's roundup of Don't Miss This. For more great content, including a look behind the scenes, videos from Paris, a book club, and exclusive events, please join me on Patreon at patreon.com/Paris Underground Radio. If you enjoyed this roundup, please tell a friend. If you venture out to any of the events mentioned in this podcast, please let me know and tag Paris Underground Radio on Facebook or Instagram. And if you think you have an event we should know about, please feel free to email me at hello@parisundergroundradio.com with the subject line, Don't Miss This. I'm your host, Jennifer Garrity. You can find me on all socials at Jennyphoria. That's JennyPhoria. Don't Miss This is produced by me for Paris Underground Radio. For more on Don't Miss This and shows like it, please visit parisundergroundradio.com. Thank you so much for listening and happy exploring. Don't Miss This is produced by Jennifer Garrity for Paris Underground Radio. For more on this show and shows like it, please go to parisundergroundradio.com.